No P4.
There were only 4 processes.
Yeah.
In the previous example we took, there were only 4 processes. P1 to P4, P1, P2, P3, P4, not P0.
Okay. I'll just add something. So this is arrival time and burst time. We are going to learn round robin with arrival time. So assume quantum is equal to 2. Arrival time for all these processes is 0, 2, 3 and 4, 3, 4 and 5. We have considered 5 processes and with burst time. And we have to calculate finish time, turnaround time and wait time. Or we will take the same example that we discussed in previous session. What was that example? 7421. 74.
2-1.
So quantum is 2. Now, in round robin, in previous example, we have not considered arrival time. Arrival time for all processes was 0. So we added all the processes in ready queue. We started with adding processes in ready queue. And then one by one, we allocated those processes to CPU in round robin fashion. That was normal round robin. Now we have to do with arrival time. So now at 0th instance or at 0 time unit, we just have one process P0 with burst time 7. So scheduler will schedule this process to CPU for how much time? Quantum is 2. So for 2 cycles. Now till 2 at 1 P1 arrived and then P2 arrived. So there are 2 processes in the queue now, P1 and P2. So P1 will be scheduled for next 2 cycles, that is up to 4. And note that at 2, this is very important step, at 2, P0 is preempted and added back to the ready queue. This is very important step. That was not there in without arrival time round robin algorithm. Initially at 0th instance only P0 was ready for execution. So that was scheduled to the CPU. Quantum is given 2 seconds or 2 time units. So P0 will execute for 2 cycles or 2 time units. Now between those 2 cycles where P0 is executing in CPU, in background P1 arrived at 1 and P2 arrived at 2, where in ready queue. Okay. Now what happened at 2? P0 completes at time quantum, so it has to preempt and go back to ready queue. So this happened at 2. And P1 has to be scheduled because P1 came first for next 2 cycles. This step is clear? Then at 3, P3 arrived. Time quantum for P1 is 4, 2 and 1. And sorry, for P0 now it is 5. And for P3 it is 1. So P1 will be scheduled for 2 cycles. P1 requirement is 4. It just finished 2 cycles, so it has to preempt and go back to the ready queue at 4 for remaining 2 cycles. Then P2 will be scheduled for 2 cycles. P2 completes its execution, so it won't go back in the queue. Then P0 has to get scheduled for next 2 cycles. P0 is not yet finished, so P0 will be added at the end of ready queue for remaining 3 cycles. Then P3 will be scheduled for one cycle. Then P1 will be scheduled for 2 cycles, and then P0 will be scheduled for remaining 2 and 1. That is 32. The only important step is once new process allocated, current process will be preempted and added at the end of ready queue. This sequence is different than when we considered arrival time 0 for all processes. Any queries in round robin algorithm? Now you have to consider calculate finish time. Finish time for P0 is 14. For P1, 11. P2, 6. And for P3, it is 9. Turnaround time as arrival time is given. Finish time is not equal to turnaround time. Turnaround time is finish time minus arrival time. So it will be 14, 10, 4 and 6. Wait time is turnaround time minus burst time. 7, 6, 2 and 5. And calculate average wait time. Any queries in round robin algorithm with arrival time and without arrival time? On slides.
Ma'am, can you explain that step when P0 arrival time is 0, then quantum is 2. So 0 to 2 it will be scheduled. Then then P1 is coming at 1. Then after that I did not understand.
So when P1 arrived, then P2 arrived at 2. So P0 is executing. Till 2 what happened? P0, P1 and P2 arrived in ready queue. Now at time quantum 2, P0 has to be preempted, right? So P0 will preempted and added at the end of ready queue. This is very important step. Please note that whenever arrived process, P2 arrived at 2 and P0 is preempted at 2. So you may think that P0 should come first and then P2. But P2 directly coming from new state to ready state. So there won't be any time lag or latency. But for P0, P0 has to preempt, means need to save its states in process control block, that is PCB, and then enter into the ready queue. So P0 will take a small extra time than P2. So P0 has to follow P2. Even if they arrived at, this is arrived at 2 and P0 has to preempt at 2, but this sequence matters. You should not schedule P0 before P2. And the reason is P0 has to save its states and do some formalities before leaving CPU. And P2 directly coming from new state to ready state. Then at 3 P3 arrived. So in our algorithm without arrival time, the sequence was P0, P1, P2, P3, and then P0, P1, P2, P3, P0, P1, P2, P3. But when you consider arrival time, depending upon arrival time, P3 is not arrived at. P3 is going to arrive at 3. Before that, P0 is preempted and added at the end of ready queue. So this sequence matters. Keep habit of writing ready queue. It will help you to schedule these processes properly. Don't try to manipulate here itself in the problem. Properly write it in your notebook with reference to this ready queue. We'll try to solve one more example.
Ma'am,
Yes.
what if we take the value of Q, 3 here, then
Let's check. Now it will follow the sequence without arrival time, because P0 will continue till 3 and at 3 all the processes are present. So they will present in the sequence of P1, P2, P3. So P0 is preempted and added at the end of ready queue after P3. So they will follow the same sequence, P0, P1, P2, P3, then P0, P1, P2, P3. That doesn't make any difference.
yes, ma'am.
It will, you will get the result as that of without arrival time. So P0 arrived at 0 and it is scheduled to the CPU at 0 for 3 cycles. Now quantum is 3. Now till 3, when P0 is executing in CPU, here P1 arrived at 1, P2 arrived at 2, and P3 arrived at 3. So all processes are in ready queue. So when P0 will preempt, P0 is added at the end of ready queue. And these processes follow sequence. P1 will execute for next 3 cycles, and then P1 is preempted and added at the end of ready queue for last 1 cycle. So 4, 2, 1, and cycle. Then P2 will execute for only 2 cycles because burst time for P2 is 2, so it will execute just for 2 cycles. Then it is preempted and exited from the system. P3 will execute for 1 cycle. Then P0 will execute for next 3 cycles. And then it is preempted and added at the end of ready queue for remaining 2 cycles. P1 will execute for 1 cycle. And then P0 for next 3 cycles. Sorry, 2 cycles. There should be 4. Because here it is finished 3, so 5 minus 3, so 7 minus 3, remaining cycles of for P0 is 4. Again, it is scheduled for second round, 3 cycles, and remaining 1 cycle after that. Okay. So if quantum is large, it will act as first come first serve. If you take quantum 4, you'll get the same result. So roll number 1 to 10, solve using FCFS. Roll number 1 to 10, solve using FCFS. Roll number 11 to 20, solve this problem with shortage of first. Then 20 to 30, solve with SRCS. 31 to 40, solve with round robin, and 41 to 50, solve with round robin with arrival time. 51 to 60, solve with SJF with arrival time. This is without arrival. And 61 onwards, solve FCFS without arrival time. Roll number 1 to 10, depending upon your roll number, you have to follow this algorithm. And you have to tell me average wait time for each algorithm. Those you have to draw without arrival time can consider arrival time is 0 for all processes.
Ma'am?
A time quantum, okay, from 61 to 70 do without the FCFS with onwards. FCFS with arrival time. Here quantum is consider 2 only. Consider quantum 2 for round robin. For both these algorithms, consider quantum 2. Shreya, row number 1.
Yes, ma'am.
What is wait time, average wait time for FCFS without arrival time?
Ma'am, is it 12?
Roll number 9. Ishani,
Yes, ma'am.
please.
Ma'am, I still haven't calculated average wait time, but
Aparna, roll number 3.
Nine.
Go to calculate without Anjali. Roll number 9. Sorry. Roll number 6. Shivani. Roll number 10. What was your answer, Shreya?
Ma'am, it was 12.
Aparna.
Nine.
Ishani.
ma'am, is it 9?
We'll check. If you are finished with arrival without arrival time, you can try now roll number 1 to 10 with arrival time. Okay. Roll number 72. Sejal. What is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Surface with arrival time. Average.
Ma'am, 5.5.
Is it 5.5? Gargi? Gargi is there?
Ma'am, it's 6.
What the value you are getting, Zoe? 63. 5.5 or 6?
Sorry, ma'am.
What is the value of average wait time?
6.
You are getting 6. Majority is 6. Check. If you finished with FCFS with arrival time, you can start SJF without arrival time. Roll number 11 to 20, 61 to 70 onwards. Ankita, what is the value of average wait time with SJF without arrival time?
10.25.
Yes, Vaishnavi, is it true? 10.25.
Ma'am, 7.75.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, for FGFS, it is 9. I had calculated it using arrival time with arrival accidentally.
That's 9. Any other value? Roll number 12, Hardiki. It is the value of average wait time you are getting. Khushbu,
I'm 7.
round figure.
Yes, ma'am. Even I'm getting 7.
Okay. Nisha, roll number 32, SRTF. In SRTF, you have to consider arrival time.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I solved by round robin.
You solve with round robin. So with arrival or without arrival?
Without arrival.
So what is the value you are getting without arrival?
13.25.
13 point. Yamini,
Yes, ma'am.
you solved it. Round robin,
Yes, ma'am. I'm getting 13.25 also.
you are getting the same value. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
37. Prajakta, roll number 30. SRTF. Anyone solved with SRTF? Why everyone is leaving this session? Anyone solved with SRTF? Shortest remaining time first algorithm. Round robin with arrival time and SJF with arrival time. Roll number 59. Rahi. And Solid, you have to cross check with your results. So in FCFS without arrival time, you have to add these processes in ready queue. In the sequence they arrive. Even ready queue doesn't matter for FCFS because they are scheduled as per their arrival time, but still keep a practice of writing ready queue. So P0 will be scheduled for 0 to 6 cycles. Then P1 will be scheduled for next 5 cycles till 11. Then P2 for next 8 cycles, that is 90. And then P3 for next 4 cycles, 19 plus 4, 23. Okay. So it is finish time for P0, it is 6. For P1, 11. For P2, 19. And P3, 23. So turnaround time is similar to finish time. And wait time is finish time minus arrival time here. So for P0 it is 0. Sorry, finish time minus burst time. So for P0 it is 0. For P1 it is 6, 11 minus 5. For P2 it is 19 minus 8, that is 11. And for P3 it is 19. So calculate average wait time. 19 plus 11, 30. 30 plus 6, 36. Divided by 4, which is 9. With arrival time, if we have to consider arrival time, still P0 arrived at 0. So P0 will be scheduled for 6 cycles. Until P0 is executing in a CPU, P1 arrived at 2, P2 arrived at 4, and P3 arrived at 6. So all these 3 processes in a ready queue for execution. Now when P0 completes the execution, charge is given to P1 as per the arrival time, first come first serve. It will execute for 11 cycles, then P2, then P3. But the calculations will change because turnaround time depends upon arrival time. So finish time is same, is 16, 11, 19 and 23. But turnaround time is now 16 minus 0, which is 16. 11 minus 2, which is 9. 19 minus 4, 15. And 23 minus 6. It is 23 minus 6.
17.
Wait time for P0 is 16 minus 6.
Ma'am, it's 6.
Should be 6. 6 minus 6, it is 0. Then 9 minus 5 is 4. 15 minus 8, 7. 17 minus 4, 30. Calculate average wait time, 24. Is 7. 6. Is it 6? Except this with arrival time?
Yes,
ma'am.
With arrival time, you are getting value 6. I hope it is visible. Next is shortage of first without arrival time. Shortage of first without arrival time. So in this case, all the processes arrived at same time in ready queue with their burst time 6, 5, 8, and 4. All the processes assume that arrived at time 0, but in this sequence. But in this sequence. So which process will be scheduled first? All the processes arrive at same time, and these are the burst times. So shortage of first will select shortest process for execution, that is P3. P3 will be scheduled for how many cycles? 4 cycles. Then P1. P1 will be scheduled for next 5 cycles. 4 plus 5, 9. Then P0 will be scheduled for next 6 cycles. 9 plus 6, 15. And lastly, P2 will be scheduled for 8 cycles. It is 23. Finish time for P0.
Ma'am, in shortest job first we will consider P0, no?
No, all the processes arrived at same time. We are considering without arrival time. We are solving SJ without arrival time, so don't consider arrival time. Assume that all processes arrive at 0, but in this sequence. Now, SJ is priority scheduling algorithm, and priority is decided by shortest burst time. So the process which has shortest burst time will be scheduled first.
Okay.
And then next shortest. So you have to sort in descending order. Shortest.
Sorry to disturb you, ma'am, but ma'am, in the first examples of SJF, we consider the first process P0 or P1 or with whole burst time as first, and then we applied shortest of
But that
first.
was arrived at 0. When we consider arrival time 0, then only we have to consider first process. If all the processes arrived at same time, in FCFS we ask process to come in a order, first come first serve. Queue mein jo bhi first hai, that should come first. But in case of SJ, priority is decided by shortest burst time. So queue, these processes are in P0, P1, P2, P3. But the selection is depending upon their burst time. Even P3 is standing at the last in a queue, but it has smallest job or shortest job, so it will be scheduled first.
Okay, so here we are doing without arrival time, so we are considering this. If we are doing with, then we will consider that. Okay,
You
okay.
have
Got
to
it. ma'am.
start with whichever process, whether it has highest burst time, but if it is arrived on time, that is time 0, then that should be executed. That will be our next example. So finish time, why I am solving this with all the algorithms, because if you have any confusion, so you should have same example solved with all algorithms. So it will help you to what is the difference between with arrival and without arrival, SJF and SRTF. SJF with arrival and SRTF, these are two different algorithms. One is preemptive, one is non-preemptive. So this is non-preemptive, this is non-preemptive, this is also non-preemptive algorithm. Once CPU is allocated to the process, we ask CPU to execute that process till its requirement. The process is not interrupted in between. So it is finish time for P0 is 15. For P1, 9. For P2, 23. And P3, it is 4. Turnaround time is similar to finish time because we are not considering arrival time here. And wait time is finish time minus burst time. So for this, it is 11, 9. 15 minus 6, 9, then 5 minus 4, 5, 4, 23 minus 8, 15, and 4 minus 4, 0. What is average wait time?
7.
28, so 7. Now we consider SJF with arrival. With arrival time. Now look at this example very carefully. But it will give you same output because so here we are considering arrival time. So whenever we consider arrival time, note that you have to start with 0. And let the scheduler check which process arrived at 0. So P0 arrived at 0 and with burst time 6. But there is none of the process other than P0, only one process in a queue. So shortest job first algorithm is applied and this is the only process. So this process is allocated to the CPU. For how much time? SJF is non-preemptive. So it will execute for complete 6 cycles. And till this process is executing in CPU, in ready queue, other processes arrive P1 at 2, P2 at 4, and P3 at 6. So all processes arrived in a ready queue at particular time instance. Now when P0 completes the execution, now it is a job of short-term scheduler to select a process to allocate to the CPU. Now CPU is free. So this will be selected on the basis of their burst times. So here shortest process is again P3. So P3 will be scheduled for next 4 cycles. So till 10. Then P1 for 5 cycles, 15, and then P2 for 8 cycles. Is it clear? When we consider arrival time, if that arrival time, if we have 0, if arrival time of P1 is 0, at a time there are two processes in the queue, P0 and P1. Which process is selected by the short-term scheduler?
P1.
Short-term scheduler will prefer P1. So till that time, how many processes in a queue? Depending upon that, scheduler will take a decision. Now at time 0 there was only one process, so that got scheduled. And SJ is non-preemptive algorithm, so this will continue for all 6 cycles. Now in between those 6 cycles, queue is getting filled with P1, P2 and P3. And when the process completes the execution, then short-term scheduler come into picture and select next process for execution. And this process will execute. Calculate finish time. For P0 it is 6. For P1 15, P2 23 and P3 10. Turnaround time 6 minus 0 6, 15 minus 2 13, 23 minus 4 9, 10 minus 6 4. Wait time 6 minus 6 0, 13 minus 5.
Ma'am, 23 minus 4, 19.
Oh, it is nice. 13 minus 5, 8. 19 minus 8, 11. And 4 minus 4, 0. So 19 divided by 4. It is 4.5. 4.6.
4.7.
4.75, ma'am.
7.5. SRTA with arrival time always. Because if arrival time is not considered, then it will act as SJFS. SJFS. So SRTA, there is only one version with arrival time. These all are non-preemptive algorithms. And these are preemptive. SRTF at 0 only first process is there in a queue with burst time 6. So this process is scheduled for execution. Now after every cycle, the job of short-term scheduler is to check the ready queue. Is there any new process arrived with less burst time than currently executing process? So at 1, scheduler looked in a queue and there is no process. Now in next cycle, now at 2, P1 arrived with burst time 5. P1 arrived with burst time 5. But what is remaining time of P0?
4.
4. So P0 remaining time is less than newly arrived process. So P0 will continue. Now at 4, P2 arrived with burst time 8. P2 arrived with burst time 8. And remaining time of P0 is again 2 cycles. So P0 will continue. P0 will continue for next 2 cycles. Until P0 completes, P3 also arrives with first and fourth. So it will give you the result similar to shortage of first with arrival time. So you will get the same result, 4.75. I just modify this. To explain your algorithm. So if burst time of P1 is 3, so add 0, P0 with 6. So it is scheduled to the CPU. At 2, P1 arrived with burst time 3 and what is remaining time of P0? 4. And incoming process has less burst time than currently executing process. So at 2, P0 is preempted and added at the end of ready queue. At time unit 2. And remaining time of P0 is 4 cycles. At 3, no new process arrived. At 4, new process arrived with burst time. P2 arrives with burst time 8. But P1 has remaining time 1. So P1 will continue for all 3 cycles. That is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. Then till 5 P3 is not arrived. So there are 2 processes in a queue, P0 and P2. So shortest job is of P0. So P0 will continue. Now at 6, P3 arrives with burst time 4, but P0 has finished 1 cycle, that is the remaining time of P0 is now 3, which is less than currently arrived process. So P0 will continue for all 4 cycles, then P3 will continue for next 4 cycles, and then P2. So after every time cycle, it has to check whether new process arrived and it has less burst time. Then currently executing process is preempted and added at the end of ready. Any queries?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, I'm getting confused between SRTF and SJF.
Yes,
Like,
is preemptive. If newly arrived process has less time than currently executing process, then currently executing process is preempted and added at the end of the ready queue. Otherwise, in case of SJF with arrival time, once CPU is given to the process, that process has to get executed. It is not preempted or in between.
okay, yes, ma'am.
That is the only difference. Password is RR. I have to create an instance. It is round robin RR.